So for the first myofascial line, we'll be talking about the superficial front line. So this begins in the scalp fascia, which is the top of the head there, kind of more to the side. And then it goes down into the sternocleidoid mastoid, which is in the side of the neck here. And then goes into the sternocondrial fascia, which is the chest bone, right in there. And then into the rectus abdominis, which is the tummy, the abs. And then down into the subpatellar tendon, which would go into the knee. And then short and long toe extensors, which would be in the toes there. And then as well as the tibialis anterior, which would be right in that area there on the outside. So the next myofascial line we'll be talking about will be the superficial back line. So I'll get you to turn around here. So again, this starts in the Gallia epicranial fascia, which is kind of the top back of the scalp there. And then goes into the sacrolumbar erector spine, which would be kind of in the middle back here. And then we go into the sacrotuberous ligament, which is in like the back of the pelvis there. And then the hamstrings, of course, back of the leg right there. And then from the hamstrings, we got the gastrocnemius and Achilles tendon, which would be just below, just in between both of them there. And then the plantar fascia, do you want to lift your foot up? So just be in the bottom of the foot right there. And then the short toe extensors, do you want to lift your foot up again? So then it'd just be in the bottom of the foot, but just up at the toes there. So the next myofascial line I'll be explaining will be the lateral line. And this starts with the splenius sternocleidoid mastoid. I'll just get you to turn this way. So it'd be in the back side of the neck there. So this sternocleidoid mastoid's kind of right in that area. So it'd be kind of underneath it, below, behind, kind of. And then the external and internal intercostals, which would be in between the ribs, right in there. And then the lateral abdominal obliques. So that up. So it'd be just right in there in the rear obliques. And then into the gluteus maximus, so the butt. And then tensor fascius latae, which would be into the, hand up there for a second, into the side of the hip right there, kind of more into the front. And then iliotibial abductor muscle, which would be, again, the side of the femur, so the whole area there. And then anterior ligament fibula. This one kind of threw me off, I believe. It would be the side of the foot. Couldn't really find much information on that one. And then peroneals. So this would be in the side of the calf muscle right there. And then lateral crural component, which again would be in the side of the foot right there. And so for the last myofascial line, we'll be talking about the spiral line. So it involves the splenius capitis and cervicis, which is hard to pronounce, but in the back of the neck there. And then the contralateral rhomboids, major and minor. So this would be the upper middle backs, right in there, kind of right in between the shoulder blades. And then the serratus anterior, lift your arm up there. So it'd be the under armpit and the ribs kind of right in that area. And then the infraspinatus would be in the shoulder blade, just underneath the shoulder blade, kind of below it a bit. And then the anterior serratus would be the front under armpit. It's kind of right in that area. And then the external oblique, which would be side of the abs right there. And then the abdominal aponeurosis, so it'd be the front lower side of the ab. So lift your shirt up. So it'd be just in that area right there. It's kind of hard to see. And then from that we got the linea alba, which would be the middle part of the ab, so right in between the ab muscles. And then the contralateral internal oblique. Again, so it's kind of just in the side there, the side of the ab and the oblique. And then the tensor fascia latae. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. So this one is found in the side of the hip, right in there. And then the iliotibial tract. So this would be, so it'd be the whole side of the leg here. Will actually be more kind of down that way to the back. And then the tibialis anterior. So this will be the front of the calf, right in that area. This is where I have mad shin splints, and it is a terrible time. And then the peroneus longus. Switch it up, face that way. So this would be the side of the calf, kind of right in that area there. And then the bicep femoris, so it'd be the back side of the leg. So kind of the hamstrings, but different name. And then sacrotuberous ligament. So again, this would be the rear pelvis, kind of right in that area there, inside. And then the sacrolumbar fascia erector spine. This would be the middle